Miracle in the present. True happiness is being in the present. Gautama Buddha asked us to believe in the power of the present, which can dictate the landscape of our lives. Life of every human has a past, present, and future. Those are the three cycles that circulate in our lives. We often cannot live in the present because our minds are focused on the past, thinking about memories, painful sufferings, or torment that we dwell on. Sometimes we need to reflect back on the past with tranquil energy so that it limits on what we remember and not overwhelm us with any sufferings. There often comes a time when we question, how do I get rid of the ghosts from the past or to stop the inconvenience of sufferings? Buddha would advise us to put deep roots in the bliss of the present, to not think about the past anymore, and to allow the past to diminish so that new memories can form. People in general are so consumed with life and may not know what it means to live deeply in the bliss of the present. As a result, we worry a lot about the future and regret much of the past. In the present bliss, there are many comfortable conditions to be full of love and full of happiness, in which Gautama Buddha explains how. It is about returning to us around what we have. For example, we have our family, friends, career, our health, and lifestyle. There are also many conditions on how to live a stable, happy life. Let's remember this. When we are present in the moment, and the happy conditions are there with us, like family, relatives, friends, and a good job, naturally, we will feel the sudden bliss and forget about returning to the past and or dreaming of the future. Gautama Buddha created 4 impressive statements. 1. Don't be nostalgic for the past. 2. Don't expect for the future. 3. Contemplate this blessing. And 4. Insight is here. When Buddha says contemplating this blessing, he is not only asking us to stay in the present bliss, but to let miracles touch and value us from all around. He suggests to look deeply into the heart of things and see the greater values it portrays, like the waves of frequency, not just the shallow surface. But in order to do that, we must practice listening to our bodies, feeling our breath in and out as the heart beats, along with the muscles, and understand how they all function together for our bodies to be active. This is the initial lesson of meditation called Vipassana, which is referred to as special seeing or insight. Do not underestimate it. If you practice it correctly, you will stay still in the present bliss. The word untrue means to stay still. We are aware that there is a lot of happiness in the present, but if we cannot maintain stillness, our minds become distracted with nervousness and anxiety. Staying still means sitting here, knowing this moment and feeling this blessing. It has been a long time since we trained ourselves to take control of our own mindset and emotions, to think optimistically instead of being worried or afraid, thinking of the past and declaring the future. But force it all back to the present and your mind and body will respond. Human capital is inherently present, but people have so many desires, such as greed. So we obtain a sense of greed in order for our minds to work very hard relentlessly, accumulating the level of stress and fatigue. Exhausted, the more greedy it becomes, the more anger it builds. The more you want, the more you suffer to protect your own will, and when the satisfaction is not met, we react in a way that is far beyond our mind control. Gautama Buddha said there are things we can temporarily put back in our mind to return to happier times. Even if you can't solve it, eliminate the things that no longer serve meaning and focus on the main core in order to feel secure about what you want. Our joy in life has long been subjected and in favorable conditions to which those favorable conditions make us happy. You must understand that everything is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever and nothing can maintain a constant. If your happiness is based upon expectations of a person, people, or a thing, then you will become fragile. He also said every individual can create their own peacefulness. That does not mean having a big group of people around you. All you really need are meaningful friendships and relations with those who go beyond the surface level. The people around us truly play supporting roles. You are the one who owns your life and can completely make your soul peaceful and happy. In addition, you must try to practice this lesson. Back to the breathing. Bring the mind back to the body by connecting. We use the word connection because it has not been connected before. The body and mind are always separate, but now the mind wants to focus back onto the body. It is not sure if the body will accept it. It may take a while to train the process through sitting meditation, but it is guaranteed many times it will bring the mind back to the body. Concentrate, stay with the mind, and when the body and the mind emerges, miracles begin to appear. The miracle here is not a miracle of transformation, but rather it is how much happiness manifests in the moment, and suddenly you feel happy when you feel the breath going in and out from your body. Then you feel the gentle comfort of your footsteps because your mind is in sync with the breath in every step of the way. Again, try to practice this lesson, focusing back on the breathing. You have completed the first step by bringing your mind to the most peaceful state, and when your mind is at peace, the atmosphere around you is peaceful too. Gautama Buddha said, Ban Pháp Tùy Tham Thảo. Everything is idealistic. How your mind feels at the thought of reality. Don't try to change reality. Don't try to change the situation or the subject. But if you can change it for the better, and if not, change yourself. Buddha advises us to always return to the mind and observe it. Resolve the trouble in the mind and look at the reality from a different perspective. When you enjoy the present in mindfulness, you can sense the happiness. Mindfulness helps us see clearly the object we come into contact with and manifest the miracle of it. For example, if we live in a state of mindfulness, we will see the purpose of things around us more vividly. The death of mindfulness makes us see our defilement, see why we cannot be happy. If we live in mindfulness, we have an insight that gives us the ability to see the psychological phenomenon of ourselves. Anger is part of a psychological phenomenon. If there is a positive mindfulness, it will help us control our anger, and defilement will less likely occur. We talk about the past, emphasize the present, and think of the future about the things that has not happened yet. Our minds resemble dreams, and our human self, being alert and awake, is the reality. We also need to calculate our future, but that does not need to be vague or full of wishful thinking. Thinking too greatly may lead to despair and sadness. Buddha said, if you want to capture the future, you have to own your present. The future is based upon what is being done in the present. What we do, what we say, and what we react to creates a karma, and that karma determines the future we come to. So if you cultivate good seed in the present, you will reap good results in the future. Inside our body, there is a very powerful energy that has not been exploited yet. The energy helps us awake to relax, to live peacefully every day. That energy helps us let go of resentment and anger from within and open your heart to the awakened difficulties and weaknesses others have brought to you. We have different compartments of this source of energy in our mind that reveals the true nature of life. But the only problem is whether or not we know how to bring up that source of energy back to use in the present circumstances. In the House of Buddhist Meditation, it is a method to help us keep our minds focused on the single object or the object that is present in the moment. With this exercise, awakened energy of diligence will appear so that we can overcome all sufferings. We are in need of the state of sitting still and doing nothing at all. In Buddhism, it is explained that no action or right action means doing nothing at all. Being attuned with the blissful seat is determined to take down the craft and promote inner strength that assembles the source of energy we need to relax our soul. I wish there was an academic lesson other than psychology that would teach us about the soul. In the soul of learning the values of good seeds and eliminating the negative energy in this society, which will help people be less painful and live more happily. Each of us need to cautiously use our best to establish a life of priority and preserve the good in our hearts. Either way, always remain the true value of beauty and goodness in our souls so we can live happy and happier.